Provided this is working again, because my connection keeps dropping on and off. Hello, you lovely folks. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Draw 5 Move 5. My name is Gabe, and this is Draw 5 Move 5, the channel where we draw connections between the mechanics behind our favorite games. Happy to have you all here this evening as we are working on diving deeper into Inscryption. I figured out the music issue from the last few streams. Turns out in OBS there's like a way to separate all of your channels into different, I guess it separates the audio so that it records its own separate tracks, mostly for recording playback is the reason that that's there. I use it for that when I'm recording videos. Doesn't work as well for live. Apparently YouTube only yoinks the first channel available, so all the desktop audio was routed to a second channel. And as a result, nothing was visible or audible, I should say, for you folks, until I made a new one which had everything enabled, which only did the Inscryption gameplay. But we fixed it. So, and yes, hopefully this stream is not buffering anymore. Thank you, Abby. So here's hoping everything is visible and audible and moving properly, and you can see me and hear me, and it's all working. My Wi-Fi is garbage. I really need to try and figure out an Ethernet situation, but the Wi-Fi little box is all the way in the far end of the house, and I am nowhere nearby it at all. So it's a little bit difficult for me to get a stable Ethernet connection, unfortunately. However, we are going to press on. We're going to see what we can do tonight to get further into Inscryption. But first, before we do, there are some interesting things that came in the mail that I want to show you folks. You may be aware from a previous video a while back that I did an interview with Tanner from the Cryptic trading card game. He's one of the developers and lead people on that game. Also, if I'm not, if the stream's really struggling, just let me know, guys, because there's a, yes, Ben, long Ethernet cable for the holidays. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out how it would work. I think I would have to like tape it along the ceiling coming from the other room all the way through. It might work. It just needs to be very long. But yeah, so I got in the mail from Tanner and the fine folks at Cryptic. The Kickstarter pledge officially went out. Everything has been shipped. And I got some cool stuff in the mail. Box. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff in this box. Okay. Maybe that fixes it. Oh my god. Is it seriously about to tell me that the reason my thing kept dropping is... Let's try refreshing the YouTube page and see if that fixes it. If folks can still see and hear me, or at least hear me right now, because I'm on the waiting screen until I can get things stable. Sound off in chat, I guess? Got me now, okay. Yeah, this is something I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot about. Okay. Is it any better right now? It seems like it's better at the moment. I'll be right back. Okay. Maybe that fixes it. I hope it does anyway. Hopefully some of y'all are still here. I know probably Stark and Ben and a few other people are still around, but here's hoping this is actually fixed now. My current thing on YouTube looks better as I'm looking at this. My YouTube preview is okay. Can y'all still see and hear me? We good? You can see me. Okay. That's an improvement. I did turn off the music, by the way. I was streaming it from YouTube. I just had it running in the background, and I didn't want it to make things worse. Actually, hold on. I have an idea. What if I just... That might do it. Okay. I think that fixes it. Awesome. Well, so if you were here for this when I mentioned it earlier, I did figure out how to fix the music. Initially, I thought the issue was that it wouldn't let me stream the music from YouTube because of copyright reason things. Even though I was using as per the author, free-to-use, non-copyrighted music. White Bat Audio is the people I like to use. They're very good, like, background music for, like, synthwavy sort of stuff, which is kind of the vibes I get from Inscryption. So that is what's playing in the background right now. I had to download that music I downloaded that whole thing because I initially thought that was why it wasn't working. I figured out why it wasn't working. It wasn't that. It was a stupid connection thing with how I had the signals routed in terms of the way I split the audio to try and make it easier for recording, but that didn't really work out how I was hoping it would. It ended up meaning that YouTube couldn't see the music, so to speak, or anything coming from the desktop. So that was the issue we were having before. That is fixed now. However, I thought that meant I'd be good to play it from YouTube again. I guess not, because apparently it seemed like the stream did not like that. So, thankfully, I was prepared and downloaded the mix earlier. So it is coming from my desktop instead of from my YouTube. So that, I believe, should help. Now, before we jump into Inscryption, because it seems like everybody's like, okay, cool, we can hear the music, we can see Gabe, everything's working good. Welcome to this evening's Inscryption playing. before we hop in, I was mentioning this a little bit when it was super choppy, so I don't know if half of you even caught that. But if you remember, if you happen to watch the video, God, was it like half a year ago now? Last April, still this April. Yeah, I guess last April. We're approaching the new year. Last April, I did a video for and with the folks at Cryptic, Tanner McBride specifically. They were one of the main like developers and people on that. And we did an interview and talked about the game a bit. We did some playing. And I backed them on Kickstarter. And I got some of their cool stuff in the mail earlier this week on, I think, Sunday. So I wanted to show some of the cool stuff I got real quick before we hop into the stream. Because I know it is one of those things that, as small card game design folks, I know we enjoy kind of seeing some of these things. So to do this now with better quality and really hope that putting the box on the corner of my chair is not the thing that is causing the Wi-Fi to break down, because down there where my computer is, that direction, there is a little like USB plug-in chip that's doing the Wi-Fi to reach, because I do not have an Ethernet cord that long. I need to get one. But that's doing that down there. I think putting the box here on the corner of my chair blocked the signal and caused the stream to start dying. This thing is very finicky. So, now that we've got that fixed, we are going to, I'm just going to take a couple things out of the box. The ways of Wi-Fi are eldritch and esoteric. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm an audio person. The Wi-Fi side of it is not so much my wheelhouse, so I do not have as much experience with that. But we're getting there, you know. Streaming is not a thing I do very often. Yin Yang Yao, I do not honestly know what I would get for a different Wi-Fi system. Maybe something with like an antenna on it or something. I'd have to look at like a stronger... So the thing is, I have plugged into, because I knew this was going to be a problem, and I had already had issues with it in my previous location. When my computer was in my office, which was my neighbor's basement because they were very kind and let me use that space, I had a Wi-Fi range extender to make sure the Wi-Fi could reach down to the basement so I could upload videos and do all that. And even then it was kind of weak. It didn't super work fantastically, but it worked all right. I have that extender in the corner over here in my room plugged into the out. But the problem is, sometimes it just, when I'm on stream, I try and jump back and forth between the two to see which one's going to work better. Sometimes it still drops. As of right now, I'm currently connected to that one, which is good. But it ranges. So what it seems like is the computer can't support stream, at least on the Wi-Fi setup. It doesn't seem like it can support downloading in terms of like playing back video while also uploading video, which is really annoying, because it means I have to basically only run with downloaded music and things like that. But you know what? We got it sorted. It's working. It's fine. So that all seems to be functioning how we need it to at this point. So PCI Express card on my motherboard for Wi-Fi does pretty well. Those things are super cheap too, like 15 bucks. I don't know if my roommate actually helped me build this PC like a year or two back. I do not remember if we have a spot that I can stick that on my motherboard. I would have to, when next I get a chance to take the PC apart and give it a good clean, I will have to double check and see if it's something I can get and add. Yeah, hopefully I can work with this until I get a better setup. Like the worst case scenario, what I'm thinking I might do, I wasn't even planning on doing streams super often, but like I want to do the Inscryption video, and this is a good way for me to keep putting out content for you guys so that there's stuff for people to watch while I'm working on scripted videos in the background. And I'm enjoying it. Like it's nice to kind of hang out with the community here and just do these videos and like go a little unscripted and just hang and play some games online and just go from there. But I think probably what I'm going to need to do is get an Ethernet cable and get a bunch of tape and just string it from the back of our router in the living room along the ceiling so the cat can't reach it into my bedroom and pipe that all the way through here to the back of my computer. I think that would probably solve the issue. It's just going to need to be a long Wi-Fi cord or a long Ethernet cord. I'll have to measure it out and see how long of a cord I need. In the meantime, hopefully this will be able to work itself out and we can work with this for now. So far, it seems to be doing better than it was, so fingers crossed we're going to be good. But before we hop into playing some Inscryption, real quick, I'm going to show you all some of the cool stuff we got from Cryptic. And then we're going to hop in and start playing some cool card games online after showing the cool physical card games I got. So, Cryptic has a bunch of interesting stuff that I got. I backed them at I think it was the Noble Citizen tier. I think that was the one. Luckily, those things come super long. Yeah, that definitely makes life easier. So there's some promos and stuff in here, mostly just like particular rare versions of certain cards with their cryptic language text on them. But those aren't like super interesting. We've got, first things first, I haven't read through any of these yet. I'm probably going to on one of my random days, just like give them a go through. But they made comics for the lore and stuff like that. So there's 5 of these here. I have not really gotten a good chance to look at them, but I will be doing so in the near future. I haven't really been able to keep up too much with the lore and all of that stuff with Cryptic. I just know it was generally like the couple times I've done it, it's been a good gameplay experience. My roommate and I cracked 2 of the starter decks and started playing a game on Sunday, I think, when they came in the mail. And that was just a nice time overall. So I even if the comic books are not the strongest showing in the world, like they're still like a method of delivering the lore, and the cards still do what they need to do. They're just a fun thing to play. It's fairly easy to pick up. For playing, when you're deciding who's going first and going second, they got these really cool like resin dice printed. They all have the, if I can get this thing to focus. Sure, let's go with that. It's really nice. It's obviously not the easiest to see on here, but it's got the Cryptic K on it. It's got this really nice like purplish blue resin sort of thing going on. It's very pretty. And then we got our 4 starter decks for backing. I got these as an add-on because I wanted to be able to play with these and easily crack them open with people. Ideally, I can bring these to my local tournament store, and like if I'm not doing Yu-Gi-Oh in between a round or something like that, I can be like, hey, this cool game launched on Kickstarter. Y'all want to play it? I've got starter decks. It's super easy to learn. So there's the Undead starter deck. There is the Ascendant starter deck. These were the 2 we cracked open and played with. And then there are also the Mystic starter deck. Really nice art on the cover of that one. And the Human Faction starter deck. And all of these also came with an extra 3, as you can see on the bottom there. Extra 3 booster packs, which is real cool. So those allow you to kind of customize the deck a little bit, make them a little more unique. That was one of the tiers they unlocked, is everything gets an extra 3 booster packs. And then from those 3 booster packs, we got some cool stuff. I'm really just going to show off, like, it was a lot of cards, honestly. It's actually a pretty good amount of cards that they give you for, like, the amount in a booster pack. And there's, like, rare and, like, a foil usually in every pack and stuff like that. So, Lorelei, real pretty looking right there. The foils are a little dark, I will say. The printing process on them was a little bit, like, kind of dark. But Cormac, the king dude there. Got Theodore, Jekyll and Hyde looking kind of dude. And then got Isis. Trying to figure out where I can best put this that doesn't immediately get flashed by the light I have in front of my face. And then Wayland. And Moxie, I think, was the last of the hollows. Which, for reference, there's a version of it in here as well that's not hollow. Yeah, no, the foiling's very shiny. The weird thing is when it's not in the light like that, they actually look a little bit darker than their standard print versions. So, like, there's, I've got a Moxie that we pulled in here as well. And it is definitely a little bit darker than, like, the foil seems a little bit darker than the standard version. I don't really know what's up with that, but the foils do look really nice, and they don't curl either. Like, these have been open, I think, for... This is the Moxie, and, like, that is, like, almost razor straight, and that's been unboxed for, I think, like, 4 or 5 days at this point, just in standard humidity, nothing special. And it's like, no curling. They did some work to really make sure these things look good and work well, no Pringles. So, but yeah, comparative here real quick. That is foil Moxie versus regular Moxie, kind of to give you an idea. The art, I think, is a little bit darker with the foiling technology, but it's still nice. And then other than that, so I got those. And then the last thing, yeah, right? Like, I'll say this much. The Cryptic is a fun game. Like, I generally, every time I've shuffled up and played with it, I've enjoyed doing so. Tanner really cares a lot about the quality of this game. I think if anything is a weak point, I think I don't really have, and this may just be my experience because I haven't dug very deeply into it, I feel like the story maybe is a little bit shallower than wanted, but I can't even say that for sure because I haven't really dug into it. You know, I've got 5 comics sitting here, I haven't even cracked them open yet. But like, other than that, all of the card art is really nice. The design on a lot of this is really solid. Like, it's just fun to shuffle up and play. And the foils all look sick. So, you know, happy about that. And then, of course, for backing at the main tier without any add-ons. First wave booster box of Cryptic Genesis. Do you know how many packs come in this box? 56. There are 56 booster packs in this box. And I cannot remember exactly how many packs, or how many cards are in the pack, but I believe it's like 10. See if I can find it, hold on. Nope, that's not the one I need. Okay, well, it's not a small number of cards in a pack. Like, I'm comparing this to Yu-Gi-Oh! I know Magic's packs are a bit bigger, but the amount of packs I think in a box is not this many for a Magic set. Like, the packs are thick. This is just 6 packs. This is 6 packs worth of cards. That is a pretty deep stack. So it's a lot you're getting for your money. And it's really sick because, like, it gives you more multiples of stuff. You can add it into the starter decks and play with it that way. I haven't cracked this yet, but you know, I can play this sealed. I can do draft with friends if I want to, like go to the game store or do draft with my roommate and like kind of go from there. Or we can just like kind of reseal them into individual like packs and, you know, do it as a cube sort of thing in the future. You know, there are a million ways to do something cool with this. I haven't opened this one yet because I'm not really sure when I want to or what I want to do with it yet. I might even open this like on a stream one day or just do it as a something in a video. I think probably that's the kind of thing I think I'd rather do on a stream. Like if I'm going to do a non-inscription stream, I feel like opening like a pack or a box like this would be fun. Generally speaking, I think I'm kind of liking the setup as we're doing these streams of like, hey, we have a talking point or a topic once I get past my inevitable streamer issues and we get the tech side of it figured out. One of the things I am really liking is this, what I did last stream as well as this one, where we take a little bit of time just to talk about like a concept or like talk about like an update from like, you know, indie TCG communities and stuff like that. Standard Magic is 15 cards per pack, 36 packs per box. They may have cut that to 24 reasons. I can't remember right now. Yeah, for reference, Yu-Gi-Oh's packs are, I think it's like 8 cards per pack, 1 foil guaranteed in every pack, and then 24 packs per box. So it's a lot smaller of an amount of cards. The upside to this is that for later sets, it's a higher print of cards, so it makes it easier to get a hold of them. The downside is that for the first box, because this is all, everything in the starter deck is the same as everything in the main set, so you're gonna have a lot of duplicates. It's good because it means you can build a lot of decks and you can play with a lot of people. Bad because if you wanted to pull a lot of different stuff, you're gonna have a little bit of a harder time. But I mean, even so, like the main set here, I think is, I think they usually say on these what the total number in the set is. Believe it's, there are 150 cards in the main Genesis booster box. So that in and of itself is, you know, obviously there are probably going to be a good amount of duplicates. I think most cards, I forget how the rarity breaks down exactly. I know there's 100 commons, 37 rares, 13 noble rares, and I think every card has the option to come in foil, I want to say, because I have a common foil here, I have a rare foil here. I did not pull any noble rares from those booster packs, but I also have a whole box ahead of me, so, you know, I'll find something. It's just a matter of whether or not it's going to be foil. So there are easier to access versions of these cards, and then there are also foil versions. So I really like how they broke down that stuff to make it easy. And this part too is they made all of this stuff in Canada. If you can see that, it's not reflecting too heavily. They partnered with a printer in Canada, and they split production for the starter decks and for the booster boxes between two different companies, but they made it all in Canada. There are less overseas shipping wait times and supply chain disruptions because of it, but a higher amount, you know, it costs a little bit more to make, but you save a lot of money on shipping because it's not coming from all the way overseas. You don't have to worry about delays and things getting lost in the shipping apocalypse because, let's be real, we're still dealing with it. I work retail. I know there are still, you know, we're down, but the virus is still a thing that's running around, and it's been impacting everything from, you know, just basic supply and demand to all the way through, like, just general health and function. So, you know, it's still happening. And being able to guarantee that stuff's coming via truck across the border, as opposed to overseas via a train, via a plane, or more likely a ship, is huge. I know one of the other games I worked with wasn't a card game. It was my first promo video, or my first sponsored video, Legacy of the Lore. Their initial stuff, they were waiting on like some of their Kickstarter stuff to come over from China, and it was taking a while. It was like a long time before they got an update, and they were worried some stuff got lost. I think some stuff might have even gotten lost. I can't remember exactly, Keith gave me some amount of update when we talked a while back, but I don't know exact details, so I don't want to speak on anything I'm not really aware of. But wrapping all of this up, Shipping Nightmare is the equivalent of losing sock in the dryer. They go to the same places. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, welcome back, that mage. Yeah, no, they just all just get lost in the sauce. Like, I mean, I ordered, what was it? When I was prepping for the regional in September, I ordered a bunch of cards way in advance. I had my entire core deck together and ready. I was just looking at a couple of tech cards. I ordered a copy of Firecracker. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks before the event, and it just never came. Got completely lost in the mail, no contact from the seller. I was able to at least get like my money back. It wasn't even like an expensive card. It was like, I think I maybe paid like 30 or 50 cents for it. It was like a super rare or an ultra rare from an advent calendar, but the original print was a common, so there was a bunch of them floating around. It was just a random side deck card for time because Yu-Gi-Oh's time rules suck. But the fact that it just got completely lost and never came back, I was like, what happened here? You know, just small stuff like that. And that's just like a basic letter with like a card inside of it. Imagine that happening to pallets of product. You know, like, imagine going to your local pet store or your grocery store and their pallet of like Goya rice just never showed up, and they are completely out of rice or pasta, or like the meat got lost for a while, went bad in transit, and now they're out of stock on steak or chopped meat or, you know, whatever thing. It's a huge impact on how the world functions nowadays. And, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know how you fix that, but I do know that getting stuff shipped over land as opposed to overseas does help with that kind of, because, you know, less can go wrong. So, you know, as it turns out, they're doing stuff in Canada and it's working pretty well for them. So, you know, I'm happy to hear that. But wrapping this all back around to hop into our thing, I really like doing these like short little discussions with you guys about just some random game design related or like product related topic on like something that's interesting going on in either my life or just in the general indie TCG design space. So I think maybe before streams I want to make this like a Oh yeah, buy local for as much as you can. Yeah. So I think what I want to start doing is like every stream we're going to do two things. We're going to play some Inscryption, and we're going to have some sort of short discussion or topic. I say short, I think we've been doing this for like half an hour at this point, but about like either a product or like a new up-and-coming card game if people have ideas for me to talk about. I'm probably going to have to talk about the card game that all of the YouTubers or Yugi-tubers have been getting stuff about. I don't even remember what it's called. The name was honestly kind of forgettable. Like three of the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube peoples, at the very least, all did videos on this new Kickstarter card game that looks like weird Pokemon plus Yu-Gi-Oh! Plus it's a whole thing. But they sent them all like promo product and like let them play with it and do stuff like that. I forget the name of it, but you know, that's something that like maybe we talk about that a day before stream or like during like the beginning of a stream. Or we talk about like, you know, the, at some point, I think I want to talk about the freaking Disney card game that got announced, because that's wild. You know, we don't know basically anything right now. And also just like general game design stuff and just like topics on that front, you know? There was a really good discussion happening in the Discord, which I think a good amount of you folks were already there for, so you already know. We were talking a little bit about like, one of the users had asked about, hey, how do you guys deal with creative burnout? How do you stay focused and like get back into it and just keep up with making stuff? Because being a game designer is not, it's not just an inherent thing that everybody does. It's like, it's super simple. Like you have to be sometimes in the mood to do it. You have to be feeling creative to do any sort of creative thing. And that is something we had a really nice discussion about in the Discord, talking about, you know, like, oh, well, here's a couple of like pieces of advice. That mage had some really, really nice things to say on that topic. You know, Clueless Wanderer / Kirby, like everybody, there were a bunch of people who had a bunch of good things to say. I just added my little bits onto the end because I saw that conversation, like, this is a really nice conversation, but I am busy right now and cannot answer. So today, before I was doing prep stuff for the stream, I responded to that. Most of my advice was just echoing what people had already said and adding on my couple bits that I stole from Matt Colville, because again, one of his other pieces of advice is take the things you like and put them in your game. In my case, it's spread the advice you get from other people, because it's still helpful no matter who it comes from. And you know, don't take credit for the things that aren't yours. These are Matt's points. You know, the two big things I recommended was consume creative media to make yourself feel creative again, get inspired by watching film or doing whatever. And then, you know, that oftentimes will spark that creative drive again in you and get you to start doing more. But the other thing, of course, is a little more specific to like writing, but still good, still helpful, is the put a gun on the table, so to speak, situation, which is basically if something's boring and like you're trying to write this scene, but the scene's really just not speaking to you, you're having a hard time with it. One of the things you can do is, okay, well, it's boring because nothing's happening. So how do I make something happen that makes it feel more interesting? Put a gun on the table. Put some drama in there. Why is that there? Do they know it's there? You know, things like that. Things that suddenly make it interesting. You put something in there that you're interested in and that makes it more exciting. Like put a monster in your encounter you weren't planning on putting there because you didn't really want to design this encounter. You're not feeling it. Put a monster in there, you know? But that's about it for that subject. I think I like doing little like just off the dome discussions like this. You know, if I want to, if I have a more focused point to make, it can even potentially get clipped into an actual video for people to kind of, you know, hop into and be here for. But if not, you know, it's still just like, I think for the people who are here, it's a valuable like little bit to have. And maybe that's another reason for people to come by the streams, you know. But that's about all for all of that stuff for now. So, with all that being said, I'm going to get these boxes out of my way real quick. Put all the stuff back inside the box. And we're going to get started playing some Inscryption. I know it's already kind of late-ish, but we'll go for like an hour or so. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see. Okay. Let's hop into doing some Inscryption now. And we're just going to take the music real quick and give that a nice little fade out. Not the best fade out in the world, but it works. Pop up Inscryption. And let's just switch our view over real quick, shall we? Okay. That should hopefully come up momentarily. Okay. It is time to once again venture into the world of Inscryption. Last time we left our hero, I won't even call our hero Gabe, because Gabe is the card that died and is now part of our collection. But last time our hero, me, we just entered into the snow line. I think we got through a couple of small things, and now we are at the point where we've got a branching path. This is what our deck currently looks like for anybody just hopping in or who wasn't here for previous streams. We have Wolf, Possum, Empowered Stoat with the Unkillable ability, the Bee Frog, Bullfrog, one of our best defenders. I'm really happy we have this card, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to using it more going forwards. Stinkbug, who I swear looks different every time I come in. At the very least, it looks different now than it did before. Gib is still here, don't worry. He's right there. Next card in line, actually. The Powerhouse, Gib. Our Gek, which we empowered with a Split Strike, so that way we have a 1-drop that can do 2 damage immediately in most situations. We've got our Skink, which I don't really know what to do with yet, but we'll figure something out. Worker Ant. I'm not really a big fan of these ants, but we got them, so we have them now. I don't really know what else to do with them. It seems like empowering them is probably the best thing I could be doing, but we'll see. Caged Wolf. Got this from a puzzle too. I don't know what this is for. It reminds me kind of the pelts, so I'm wondering if I bring it to one of the pelt people, maybe it does something with that. Or if not, maybe I can warm it by a fire and give it some attack, or graft an ability onto it, kind of a la Bullfrog, and give it something to do with itself. We got Mantis with the flip down, so it can always hit for 2 and not really worry about getting hit in return. Casey we pulled, who, to my understanding, is the name of a mod. So I don't know what that deal is about, but something probably of importance. The fact that there are only a few of these that look like people, and all the ones that look like people are the dead people, like me, probably says something. And then, in addition to that, we've got Porcupine, which is just like a slightly worse Casey. And Ouroboros was our pick last week from defeating the Angler. We'll see what happens here. It says that it gets, or at least the description was, it gets stronger every time it gets killed. So we'll see if that's a permanent change, or if it's just per battle, or what's going to happen with that. And then we got a really unlucky trial. One of the cave dens gave us some real bad options, and this was the least bad one for winning that trial. There are honestly a few cards in this deck that I would just love to shave, because I don't think they contribute to our overall consistency and win condition, but we'll see. If I can at least empower this Black Goat, it becomes better as a 1-drop, but we'll see. And we have a bot. Fantastic. Hold on. Get out of here. Get. Report. That one. All right, it's been nuked. At least I assume it was nuked. We'll see. All right, let's actually play now. Now that I've dealt with the bot. It has been smited. It has been angled. Fresh fish. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now. I am thinking, looking at the current path ahead, I don't really feel like doing this again. I definitely don't want to do a totem fight right now. I don't want to do 2 totem fights, because that's all we've got there. We've got full items right now, so there's no reason to head down this path really at all. I think I'd rather take the easier path right now, get some cards, empower some things, and then either choose between the totem fight or the regular fight once we get up there. So that is our current plan. We're going to head to the right and see what happens. Okay, what do we got going on here? Snowy fur, so that is blocking some of my stuff. We have turkey vulture. Oh, that's cute. So it's got flying. Okay. It's a 3/3. Got it. And then the mole. Okay, it moves to an unblocked space when it's in play. Got it. Let's see. We can go squirrel. Now, how does this work? It still only counts as 1, right? If it gets... Actually, it doesn't matter. I can just immediately kill. I can straight up immediately kill. We're just gonna go squirrel. We're gonna go gib. We'll put him there. We'll go... Frick it, we'll play Stoat too. Stoat. Back on the board. I can play the goat for BM. I don't think we do, but I could. Alright, go. End him. OTK! OTK strats are best strats. Alright, what do we got for cards? The Pernicious Vulture, a tyrant of the skies. That's a lot of bones. The monstrous grizzly, its form speaks enough of its efficacy. The flighty elk, it moves after attacking. I like another flyer, but I also really like another 4-drop in the deck. I know this costs 3, but we have basically no top end, and we do have a few different sacrifice outlets at this point, so I kind of think, yeah, Grizzly eat the goat, exactly, because, like, what else am I doing with the goat in this deck? I don't think it, like, overcharges, so I think we're just taking the Grizzly. Maybe we can empower it with something else later. Alright, bonfire. What are we gonna do? The warm light of a campfire was a welcome sight, though the 10 hungry eyes around it dampened the greeting. Warm a creature by the fire, enhance its power, said one. I mean, that sounds pretty good. I like that. Stoat always just being absolutely not down for it. Nope, nope, nope. Choose wisely. Okay, what do we want to empower? I could empower Gek. That would be pretty decent as a free drop. We've got... Gek seems... okay. I think it's either Gek or Black Goat, and I'll tell you why I'm thinking Black Goat. Otherwise, this guy is completely useless. At least if he has 1 power, he is just a flying 1/1. And in any situation, that is better than having a flying 0/1 for a tribute. I know the strategy of like, oh, I could just spike it onto 1 dude is pretty good. But the other thing, I'm just like, I want the rest of the deck to be a little more evenly better as opposed to one thing being specifically great. But Gek is real strong. I mean, if we have 1, 2, like, we got a few haymakers in the deck at that point if we've got something like that. Maybe we do just go for Gek. We got 14 cards in deck right now. If we empower Gek, we have 1, 2... Really, we have 2 haymakers at that point. I feel like I like doing Gek. I think that's the most reasonable option, because that makes a little more balance on the haymakers. The only other consideration is Goat, just so that way it has more value when it comes down on the board. Because, like, the flying thing's so useless without anything else. And I want it to at least be able to apply some pressure, you know? I think we're going Gek. The power of the Gek was enhanced by the warmth. As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, you withdrew. That's a 4-hit Gek right there. That's a pretty good Gek. All right, what do we got ahead of us? Totem Fight into another card. So we can go... Okay. We can go Totem Fight, get another card, warm something else by the fire, do another fight. And that gives us the opportunity to make something else better. That's pretty decent. Or we can go this route, hit whatever that is, because I still haven't won one of those. Yeah, no, Les, I know the goat's intended for sack. The big thing is that we got that goat because it was the least bad of 3 options off of one of these guys last time. And it has the flying, and I'm just like, if it at least had a power, that would make it better as a way to kind of try and hit for damage, you know what I mean? But the fact that it has no power right now, and it's just like a tribute that effectively does nothing in the deck, it's really only good like when I already have something to sack to like go for exactly if I draw it with the Grizzly we just got. Otherwise it's, or like for the Wolf, I guess. So that's really the extent of what it's good for here. I kind of wanted it to be at least a 1 power so it could do something, but I think we go for Totem Fight just so that we can kind of improve something else over here. Either way, we're going to have to hit a Totem Fight. It's just when along the way. I think we go here and we go for it. What do you Yu-Gi-Oh players call them? Gems? I'm not sure what we're referring to here in this case. Yeah, no, I didn't empower that goat with the flying. We went to a den and the options were like a great white with the weird mole move stapled onto it, so it would like move, but it was always flipped down, so it never worked. Something else that was similar where it was like it would flip itself down, but it was something that normally wanted to be up, and then like something else like that. No, that would be bricks, Stark. That's bricks. Cards that exist in the deck in the deck only for combo plays that need to ideally stay in the deck. Yeah, bricks. That's what we refer to them as. When you open the bad hand, you have bricked, and when you open with a brick, it means you drew one of your combo pieces that you did not want to see. All right, I think we're going this way because I've already got like 3 items right now. I don't think, and worst comes to worst, I can always divert back over if I want to. Let's go for a challenge, I guess. Everything's got flying. Everything has stink. Okay, weird. Creature opposing card bearing the sigil loses 1 power, so that's flying. Okay, got it. And the mole will move to a free space. We have Bullfrog will give us bees, so I think we want to set up with Bullfrog in front of the Vulture. It won't be able to hit, but it will be able to net us a bunch of bees, and that's pretty good. Play it there. Nothing else we can do for this turn, so we're just going to swing for 1 and pass. Block. Get a bee. Okay, so we have 1 bee, which can either fly for some damage or get tributed. If I go for a squirrel, I can play the wolf. Okay, it's a stinking fly as well. Okay. Someone said brick to me over the other day in a card context, and I thought they meant like a card of a brick or something. No, yeah, Garnet was the card you were thinking of. Yes, yes. Gem Knight Garnet is like the atypical brick card. In Yu-Gi-Oh, we play engines usually because we don't have a mana system to kind of check things in that regard. Sometimes decks will just become a mashup of different engines or something like that. But even in like decks with like a single focus to them, people will usually refer to a card you don't want to draw, that the goal is to keep it in your deck as a Garnet or as a brick. Garnet, namely for the card Gem Knight Garnet, which is the atypical brick, or the archetypal brick. Back in about 2015, they released a card called Brilliant Fusion. It basically was activate the spell, and then as long as you have a light monster in your deck and a Gem Knight monster in your deck, you send them both to the graveyard, you summon Gem Knight Seraphonite from your extra deck, it gives you a free body that gives you an extra normal summon, so effectively it would represent like 2 bodies on its own in addition to your regular summon for turn. However, Brilliant Fusion would not work if you drew the copy of the Gem Knight, and most people were playing this as an engine inside of another deck. So you usually played 3 Brilliant Fusion, a light target you were okay with drawing, and then the Gem Knight you really didn't want to draw. So usually, if you drew your Garnet, it was bad, because all 3 of your other cards in the deck went dead. And that was why we referred to them as Garnets. Even to this day, we'll usually refer to a card we don't want to draw because it's there for another combo as a Garnet or as a Brick. Both of those will work in that situation. Okay. We got a Casey here. It'll deal damage back to whatever hits it. This also has the Bifurcated Strike. We've got the Wolf, which can start trying to do some amount of damage here. I'm going to lose the Bee pretty quickly here, the Bullfrog pretty quickly here, unfortunately. Okay, so we can play the Bee. That hits in for damage regardless. And then I contribute it on the next turn for something. That seems decent. We'll do that. We'll get a Whirl to play Casey. Or I can do... Yeah, I think we want to go Squirrel. We could also draw one to see what we get. Yeah, it's really interesting to hear the backstories. I mean, hey, Mill wasn't a term in Magic the Gathering until, I think, maybe a year ago. It was just a thing people called card effects that sent cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. That traveled over into Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. We would call the same things, that sort of thing. There's a keyword, or there's a command in some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Unofficial simulators to send cards to the top of your deck, and it's /mill and then the amount. That came from Millstone in Magic the Gathering, which was the first card to do that sort of thing. We refer to most cards that search on normal summon, I did a video on this, or on summon, as Stratoses, because Elemental Hero Stratos was really the first of its kind to do that exact thing. Okay. I think what we're going to do here is we are going to Squirrel, just to have one. We're going to go play the Bee, so we'll swing over the Mole, so that way we can keep hitting there. And then we will sack the Bee on the next turn if needed to do something, but we'll get at least another Bee out of this turn, plus a Squirrel that we'll have in hand. I could play the Squirrel down as a chump blocker here, but I think I'd rather just take the damage and save up for a big play next turn. And then next turn I'll have an extra Bee in hand, I'll have the Squirrel, and I can draw and see what I get. So we're gonna Squirrel. We're gonna go Bee right there, I think. Yeah. Bee does 1 tick. Bullfrog blocks and dies. I take 2 from the Raven, that evens the scales. And then we're gonna draw a card. Ant Queen. Okay. Okay. So she'll be a 1. Yep, exactly. If I go Squirrel for Casey, playing the Wolf here also wouldn't be too terrible, because I can... If this moves, does it block the Elk? Okay, it would. So I can go I think I have to start trying to take some of these things out. If I go squirrel and bee and sack them both for a wolf here, I can start hitting at the vulture for 2. That'll take it out in 2 turns. And won't block that much damage, but it'll do something. 1, 2. Play the wolf. I feel like that's the best option I've got here. I'm still going to take a ton of damage next turn, but... Or I guess I could go bottled squirrel so I can play the wolf and then still get on some extra damage with the bees. That's probably a good idea. Oh, I can even potentially get the mole to move. That might be decent. Okay. I think we're going to go take a bottled squirrel. 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 Play that one there. Shrinks it down a little bit. Play the bee. We'll play it here. Combat. Okay. That did not quite work how I thought it was going to work. I'm not sure what I thought was going to happen, but that was not quite it. Oh no. I think I have to see what I draw here. The goat. Okay, that really doesn't do a whole lot. I think we just kind of have to swing, try and take out some stuff. Only other thing I could do is I could play... How does this work? A creature opposing it. Does that mean it loses it when it hits at the elk, too? I feel like it would. If I do that and I play it here, does it just get shrunk for forever? I think we actually kind of just have to pass this turn and just swing again. Did I neglect to mention overkill damage? Excess damage is not wasted. It carries over to the card behind the mangled corpse of the victim. Oh, that's a new one. Lucky for you. Oh no. That did not go as well as I was hoping. I hope for more. I'm starting to think I maybe shouldn't be going for these totem battles because I can't seem to figure out a good way to beat them. Kingfisher. And an elk. Okay, so stuff dies pretty easily in my deck, so this isn't the worst in the world. Kingfisher is just good as a 1-drop because it's basically an unhittable 1 damage, but the problem is it'll never hit anything else, and I keep having problems with that. I feel like Death Touch is probably the best way to go. Yeah, I'll take Reginald. Crackling fire lit the starving faces of a crop of survivors. We have not food, one said. But perhaps one of your creatures will join us, enhance its health, one said. Stop this. Do what you must. Who do we want to make beefier? Big B Bullfrog's already so big, though. Like, does he need to be bigger? Wouldn't it make more sense to make something else in the deck larger? You know? Like, if we draw him, okay, cool, he's got 8 health, he's gonna get me 1,000,000 bees. But if I don't draw him, I feel like having a more well-rounded deck is the best approach here, because we keep running into situations like last game, okay, cool, the frog got us 2 bees. If it was bigger, it would have gotten us 3 bees, but I don't know how much more that would have helped in that particular situation. You know, like, it would have blocked 1 more turn and given me an extra bait. Maybe that would have helped, I don't know, but like, if I only have like 2 good cards to draw in my deck, right? Maybe 3 if you consider a deck, like, those are like the 3 good cards in the deck. If the rest of the deck is garbage, there's not really a whole lot of reason to use it, you know? So I feel like I'd rather have something else that's going to be a better blocker, like maybe Casey or Porcupine, just making them larger. Casey honestly probably would be pretty good because she can block a bunch of damage then and still hit for a bunch for a low cost, so that's not too terrible. Skink might not even be terrible. The ants. Where is it? The mother ant? Yeah, the Ant Queen. Like, if I make a 5 Ant Queen, that wouldn't be terrible, but I think Casey's what I'm gonna run with here, just because, like, she deals damage back. I haven't played her yet, but I think it's probably the best one to try. Survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's health. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your Casey. Like the mod? Okay, so we got a fight. We've got, ooh, Trapper guy. And then we've got a, an enhance, a slap things onto somebody else. Okay, let's do this fight. I mean, Moose Buck, Mole Man. That one's a rare card. Okay, well, we drew Gib plus a way to do some damage, so I think we just win. They still hit him if he's there, so... Power numbers, the Ants Creed. And death. Bam. See, like, drawing Ant Queen with something that I can keep on board, like Gib, is like good. The biggest thing is, like, I need more very specific cards. Like, my biggest problem right now that I'm running into is I don't feel happy with the consistency of the deck, I guess. Me pelts are clean. That's nice. Have a free one. Okay. So chat. Here is what I am thinking. I have a lot of teeth right now. And I can get a lot of cards here to trade in for other better stuff. I definitely want to get a golden pelt. I'm fairly certain, looking at the logos on these, the pelt person is going to take my my caged wolf off my hands maybe as well. Or not the pelt person, the lady who does the trading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15. I think what I want here is 1 golden and put the other 2 into regular rabbit pelts so I can get more fodder for better cards down the line to enhance the stuff I've got. Okay. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get the pelt, the golden one. And then we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get 2 rabbits. Thanks for your patronage. Oh, goodness. That looks like boss. Yeah, that's a boss. I think. Have I been tricked? Is the trapper the boss? That looks like a person with knives in a bear trap. Am I going to get punished for all the pelts in my deck? Alright. No use dwelling on it now. Alright, we've got some things we can empower. I don't know why I would empower the pelts, but it's something I can do, I suppose. So one thing I could do is I could put Reginald's... I could also put Reginald's Death Touch just on something generally good that I want to play so it can keep killing threats easily. Like if I play it on the wolf, that might not be terrible. But yeah, no, putting it on Casey with the kickback might not be bad. Either on her or on the porcupine, just to spread it out, kind of, but I think Casey's probably the way to go with that. Because there's not a whole lot else of stuff I want to graft onto anything else. So I think that's probably the best bet. So we're going to do that. I'm going to grab a U, put you onto Casey. Okay, I'm assuming we're about to walk into a boss fight, so let's see what happens. Yep. A man stood before you, a man you recognized immediately. It was the trapper. I knew it! It was the trapper. You reached out to examine his wares, but he stopped you. Sorry, but today you will supply the pelts. Knives. Oh, I don't like this music very much. What are these? Interesting. Okay. Well, I can put the bullfrog in front of these strange frogs, and that will at least buy me some time and get me some bees, provided that these attack. I think that's probably the best play. Oh, God. Okay. I don't want anything in front of that one based on that keyword there, but beyond that... These have 1 power. Yeah, obviously, first time doing this, so I don't know what the gimmick is here, but we'll see what we can do, I suppose. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got the B. I think I just need to dig for better stuff right now. Oh, that's pretty good. So that'll block the B. All of these will block the B. And then they will each hit the B, which means they effectively do net nothing. I can go B skink, and that'll block one and block another, and that's pretty decent. So I think I might do that. Ooh. Oh, okay. So now if this attacks, it's not going, it's just gonna die. That's really annoying. Okay, I can sack the tail for the Ouroboros, the 2 of them for the Ouroboros, or I can get a squirrel in here to do it for me. When I killed the frog, instead of putting the bullfrog down, it gave me a trap, which means whatever I play in front of a trap is probably going to get me, one of them gets me another trap. So I think Ouroboros is probably the play here, just to make sure I can, like, have something that keeps coming back. Oh, my frog has to attack. That's really annoying. Okay. Even flyers aren't going to get around these. That's really annoying. Wolf is also a good blocker. Yeah, it's about the only thing it's good for right here is I could use it as a block just to, like, buy me a turn. Ouroboros, I think, is the one I want to go for because I know it'll keep coming back, although it's going to burn the 2 resources and it costs a lot to play. At that point, at least, I can block some damage for a while, but it's, I mean, I guess we... Yeah, no, Stark, they've got the flying block, too. I can't hit over anything. I just have to, like, brute force my way through it with, like, dinky dudes. Which, like, at that point, I almost think it's worth just going for a squirrel here, sack the squirrel and the weird-going tail for the wolf, and just block that dude for a while, you know? And hit the one with the skink. It'll hit it, it'll kill the skink, but, like... And then a bullfrog's gonna come down behind that. It's either that or I draw and try and find something better. And that might in and of itself just be decent, but I think maybe... I think the play here is just go for the squirrel. Play the squirrel, sack the squirrel and the wriggling tail for the Ouroboros. Hit in and deal with that dude, and then see how that goes. Yep, that's what I thought was going to happen. Okay. Bullfrog comes down. Okay, take 1. Oh god, I'm dangerously close to dying. Oh god, pelts. Pelts. I can't do anything with pelts. think we gotta go squirrel and just put down the wolf so that I can actually block for a little bit. Gotta go for the bottled squirrel too, just to put it up. God, this sucks. Oh god, and I'm like 2 ticks away from going. Pelts have health, yeah. I'm gonna play... Oh, it's free. I can put it in front of the bullfrog, and I can use it as a blocker too. As a sack if I need to, I think. Okay. I think we play one squirrel just as a block, which feels really bad because I just used a bottle. Because either that, or if I can't sack these for anything, then I have to just go like 2 squirrels for the wolf just to block some damage for a while, you know? Trap's gonna kill the Ouroboros, but it's fine, I think, because it comes back and theoretically it's gonna get better. If I can just block enough damage to like make sure I don't die immediately next turn, I think I have to at least play a squirrel here to block a damage. I can pliers too, it's just like, it feels really bad right now. Like all it does is really just buy me a point to save me for a moment, you know? If I play both squirrels and I play the wolf, pliers, I guess, so that I don't... I hate when I do that. Yeah, I think we do this, and then we go. Kill the trap, kill the Ouroboros, we get the Ouroboros back. Oh, and I get a wolf pelt. Yes, okay, it gets bigger. Okay, it's a 2-2 now. So pelts can't get sacked, but they can block. I've got a squirrel, I've got a pelt. If I go for another squirrel, I can play the Ouroboros again, I can kill the adder, and I can start getting in for some damage. Hopefully. Or I could even put it in front of something else, just so that it gets a little bit bigger again, and I can like use it to block. Oh, it went up to 2-2. Okay. So it'll keep getting just bigger in all stats. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. How many 1-drops do I have in the deck right now? Because I can keep throwing the pelts. When my guys die, I get a pelt. Okay, that's the pattern. So when a guy dies to a frog, I get a pelt. When a guy dies to a trap, I get a pelt. No, when a guy dies to a trap, I get a pelt. So I get free blockers for losing my guys. Which means I can put the pelt in front of the frog if I want to. And then I can put the Ouroboros down if I go for a squirrel. Or I think I have to get rid of the adder because it's just going to keep killing everything I've got. Okay. This might sound stupid, but hear me out. I am out of pliers, friend. I used all my items already. I am out, Bruce. Okay. What's in my deck right now? I haven't seen the Grizzly, I haven't seen the Wolf, which means there are still at least 2 2-drops in the deck. The rest of the 1-drops in the deck are Goat, Casey, I have free Gib, I have a free guy in... I got Stoat, which will keep coming back. I have the Mantis, which will flip down, but it can deal with 2 things at once. I have... Oh, I don't even know where I'm getting the extra... Oh, right, squirrel for turn, okay. I have... Okay. So if I go for something from the deck, there is a pretty high chance I draw something I can at least play that does something to advance the board state. Alternatively, if I go for the Pelt as a blocker against the Adder, put the Ouroboros, draw the squirrel, put the Ouroboros into the trap. It kills the trap, it gets bigger and goes back to my hand. It gives me another Pelt, so I'll have the same hand minus 2 squirrels, which means I can't play. I'd have the same hand minus 2 squirrels. I can't play the Ouroboros on the following turn, even though it gets bigger. So I think I have to try to advance the board state somehow, which means I think I need to put the Ouroboros in front of the Adder. If I draw a 1-drop that does something, that does start getting me somewhere, especially if it's Stoat, Gib. Those are both good. I've also got a bunch of the bones over here, so I draw the possum, that's live. I feel like I have to try and draw a good 1-drop just to try and get me out of this a little bit. What do I even do with a 1-drop here? I gotta at least clear the Adder. A bunch of my dudes are flying or bifurcated, so they're gonna... Okay. We go squirrel. 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 Ouroboros. We'll play it in front of the Adder so we can hit the Adder and get some damage off the board. Make sure it didn't kill anything else. Put the wolf pelt here to block. We go combat. We take out the Adder. Here comes another Adder. Okay. This turn, I get to hit for 1, which evens the scales a little. I can play down basically nothing here. I think I have to draw a squirrel. Take. Do I have the damage to take? I can't even see the scale right now. I think I have to go... If I go squirrel here... Squirrel, take the... Squirrel just to block the bullfrog prevents me from taking any more damage. I hit in for 1 to balance the scale, I lose the Ouroboros, and I'm also out of wolf pelt, which means I get the Ouroboros back to hand, but I also still need to play it again. If I get a 1-drop here, I can't play it to block the frog. I'll hit for 2, which I do have to keep in mind. He'll hit for 1. No, you're good, Bruce. Yeah, this is brutal. I'll hit for 1. I'll hit for 2. He'll hit me back for 1, so the scales won't go completely out of my favor. If I just go squirrel here, and then do another squirrel next turn, I can guarantee at least that I can play the Ouroboros again. But that's kind of irregardless of everything else, and I'm not going to get any more pelts to block right now unless I put something in front of the leaping trap. If I try and draw a 1-drop, I can't play it this turn unless I'm willing to sacrifice the Ouroboros, which I could. It would put it back in my hand at 3 power. But it depends on what I draw. I think I have to just get a squirrel for now and like use it to either chump block or prep to replay the Ouroboros. And then like see what I draw next turn. Yeah, I feel like, because I'm out of items too, I feel like this is what I have to go for. I do this, I go combat, I hit for 2, he takes out that, I get hit for 1, so the scale sort of rebalances. And then I can replay the Ouroboros, which can kill a thing, but I'm still going to get hit for 2 again on the next turn. If I squirrel now, I can chump block one of these and just hit for 2. And then I still have to draw a squirrel for turn. I'm going to lose the Ouroboros, it comes back to my hand. So I'm going to basically have nothing I can play next turn. Unless I go for squirrel, hold the squirrel. Okay, I think I have to go for that. Hit for 2. That balances the scales a little bit. I get hit for 1. And then the Ouroboros is back at a 3 power, which means I can hit over something here and start dealing some more damage. If I go squirrel, Ouroboros, hit. I'm going to take 2, but I can hit for 2 on the following turn if that lane stays clear. Well, I am the card game design guy, Les. That's the big thing, is I try and come through this with the same... I try and think of this in the same way that I would think of any card game, because I'm trying to learn it, but I'm also... It comes from a big blend of, like, appreciating card games in general and also just trying to, like, I don't want to lose. I don't like losing at things, so I'm, like, trying to think about, okay, how can I plan ahead? Also, a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Content I watch nowadays is a lot of people hemming and hawing over their decisions in, like, best of 3 games in sealed formats, so this is very much so kind of like what I'm watching right now, which helps a little bit. Okay. So I'm pretty sure what we said we're going to do is we're going to get the squirrel for turn. I really just have to hope that, okay, I've got 2 ticks on the scale before I lose, which means I can take the 2 hit here, and then I'll start hitting for more to balance out the scales. So I think this is what we have to do. And I need to get this adder out of here. I can't keep having to deal with a Death Toucher. It's either that or I hit the Bullfrog, because anything can kill the adder. And that in and of itself might be a good thing to think, because I can take out the Bullfrog now, and then whatever he plays in that column is not getting over the Ouroboros unless it's another Death Toucher. This will take out anything I play regardless, so all I need to do is double squirrel, Ouroboros takes something out to get a clear lane. I take 2, I don't die, I swing back with the Ouroboros for 3, and then I need to at least draw a squirrel on that turn to make sure I can play something on the following turn. And all this is going to kind of change a little bit depending upon what he plays behind whatever I kill. I think I have to go Ouroboros in the lane with the frog just to clear it out. Because if I can clear out the frog, then I can start hitting with the Ouroboros there. The Ouroboros is big enough to completely clear the frog at once. Whatever I draw, once I stabilize here, I can still hit over the adder because it only has 1 health. So as long as I draw something I can play, I will be able to... Basically, we're in a 2 to 3 turns from now scenario is what we're looking at. I'm going to squirrel, Ouroboros goes over here. We are going to stabilize with the Ouroboros by starting to get the clock back in our favor. And then we draw a squirrel for that turn. We have to hit 1 more time with the Ouroboros and hope he doesn't have anything in this lane to, like, do anything. And if we can stabilize that way, then we should be able to draw a 1-drop hopefully off the top to play with the squirrel that can get us back into this. So I think we gotta go, because anything can kill the squirrel, not anything can kill the frog. I need to get more avenues for damage to start balancing the scales out again. So I think what we gotta do is squirrel, squirrel, and Ouroboros sacking those two, and we're gonna put it over in the lane with the frog. We're gonna take it out. It's a wolf. He gave me, he played a wolf. It's a wolf. The blank is a wolf. I just needed him to not play something that big. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna hit for 3. We draw a squirrel for turn. We draw a squirrel for turn, we hit for 3. We hold the squirrel. We lose the Ouroboros, we draw another squirrel for turn. We can hit over the... This is rough, folks. This is rough. This thing is useless to me right now. Okay. So there's a wolf incoming. It is going to kill our Ouroboros. We will get the Ouroboros back. I think I have to roll the RNG, take the squirrel here, hit him for 3, and then hope whatever I draw off the top can start dealing with multiple threats. Because I can play the Ouroboros back again and take out the wolf, but if I take out the wolf, I'm still going to get hit for 2. Like, the scales are going to be just balanced barely. I gotta take at least the squirrel now. Because I have to be able to at least play the Ouroboros on the next turn in order to take something out, you know? We're also starting to get kind of low on squirrels. There are also a few free drops in the deck here. I've got Gek, the Possum, and the Stinkbug are both free here too. Those are all free. And depending upon what I can get, I might be able to just... We already used Frog this game, right? Chat, we already used the Bullfrog in the beginning of this game, right? I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah, because the trap snapped it when it attacked, so I got like 1 or 2 Bs out of it, but that was it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hit for 3. He's gonna hit me back for 2 and kill the Ouroboros. I can clear the wolf. Okay, yeah, we did. If that was anything other than a wolf, it wouldn't be that bad, but it's a wolf. I can't clear a wolf with anything other than the Ouroboros right now. And nothing I draw off the top is going to kill that, unless I draw, like, Gabe. Like, I have to either hope that I go squirrel here, and then I draw a 1-drop that deals with multiple threats and deals damage, which is basically impossible, or something I can block with for free. Like, the scenarios where this is okay is if I either go... If I draw Gek, Stinkbug, or Possum, we at least have free blockers / extra damage we can do with for free. If we draw a 1-drop, like the Mantis, or if we draw Casey, Casey isn't even that good here. I mean, Casey's good if she can kill the wolf without having to do anything herself, but she also dies in that exchange. No, she doesn't die in that exchange. She has 4 health now. Yeah, it's just... The problem with the play is, like, if I go... The RNG is the hard part here, right? Because if I go for the Ouroboros, we're going to swing with the Ouroboros and hit for 3. I can't see the scale right now because I haven't drawn it. But I know at the very least I'm pretty sure I have to go for a squirrel here. It's just whether we try and get lucky with the next draw or not. So, I'm 1 tick away. I'm going to knock it back up to here. He's going to take me back down 2. I will have 1 damage I can take before I lose on the turn I play the Ouroboros, and he can hit me for 2. That's the big problem right now, is he can hit me for 2 with the other 2 unblocked guys. So there's no way I can like I literally just have to hope whatever I draw off the top on the next turn is something to save me, because I do not think I can play the Ouroboros again and out damage, like survive that, you know? The other alternative is I play this, no, if I play the squirrel now, I have literally nothing I can do next turn, so I think I just have to do this and pass. I hit back up 1, 2, 3, he hits me back down for 1, 2. I get the Ouroboros back, and that is good. One, 2, 3. He hits me back for 1, 2. I can't do any damage over him, so he hits me for 1, 2, and I just lose. Yeah, I don't know if this one's winnable, folks. Unless there's like something crazy I can draw off the top on the next turn. Or maybe something I could have, like, I feel like almost I should have done this first. Nothing for it now. Like, even if I throw this in front of something to block, it's not going to do a whole lot of anything. Because then I lose the squirrel and I can't actually play with it on the next turn. Yeah, that evens us out a little bit. He kills the Ouroboros. I take 2. Did that not go down as far as I was expecting it to go? No, it went exactly as far as I was expecting it to go. Okay. Heart of the cards. We are the Yu-Gi-Oh person. Alright. Realistically speaking, what do I draw here that can get me out of this? Does Gabe even do it, though? Because if I draw Gabe, right? I draw Gabe, I can play the squirrel, I sack for Gabe. Gabe hits direct for 4 if I play it like over either the wolf or the adder. It'll hit direct for 4, but then here's the thing. The adder's gonna hit Gabe, and Gabe doesn't have unkillable, Gabe has many lives. So it's gonna die. Yeah, I need another squirrel for the Ouroboros. I think no matter what I draw here, I still lose. Like if I draw Gek, okay, cool. Gek can take out the wolf and take out the frog, then block the adder, and that's a no cost for me. And that's good. I think it either has to be like, I think it has to be exactly Gek. And even that isn't perfect. It takes a damage off the table with the strange frog, and that's good, but... like, I think it has to be exactly Gek. I mean, we lose if we don't, so... That is not it, Chief. That is not it. Alright. We are just donezo. This is it. Oh, card return, don't be greedy. Yeah, I know. Does this let me overclock? It counts for 3, but I can't over tribute, right? So like I can go squirrel, but I can't sack the goat for the Ouroboros. Well, Caged Wolf is 2, too. I can't play any of these cards with a 1 tribute. I might be able to play... I don't know if the goat lets me over tribute. That's the only thing I can try. That's the only thing I haven't tried yet. But I can't just play this. Okay. So I can go squirrel, goat. Doesn't matter where I put the goat. Probably not. I'm going to be sacrificing it anyway. Okay, well I can play the Ouroboros. Okay. If I play the wolf, it does not block enough damage for me to live. If I play the Ouroboros, it kills the wolf, but I still take enough damage to die. I think we're just dead, folks. I'm gonna try, but I think we're just dead. The thing too is it's combat order, right? Like even if the adder kills the wolf and it has some special ability, I think the wolf takes me out first. I mean, maybe, we'll see. Just so that I can at least see what this card does. We'll do that, I guess. Oh. What was that? I'm still dead, but now we know at least. You will make an exquisite pelt. We tried, folks. We tried. At least we know what the wolf does now. Aw, man. Oh, we're gonna have to do the angler again. Stay there. No need to move. I am afraid you are not dead yet. Yeah, I know. Hold still. Where did I put that camera of mine? Gimme. Pathetic. Do you really think I would leave film in there? Do you have any idea what that camera is capable of? Give me that. Frick. We have a memento to create. Behold, your death card. Shall we begin to ink it? Please choose a card to draw the cost from. Ooh. Chat, this card has no cost. Chat, that card has no cost. A cost of free from the golden pelt. We are gonna build the most broken freaking card we can, I tell you what. This time I will use its power and health, the numbers. Yeah, give me the wolf. Let's go again. 3 power and 2 health from the wolf. What do we got? Now choose a card from which we will extract the sigils. Well, it's not going to be as good as Gabe was. Maybe it will be. It's still free. Okay. It's a free 3/2. What is the best thing we can do with a free 3/2 with the understanding that the start of the run is going to have all power boosts at the fires and no... Because... So I'm wondering if I do this, if it overrides the previous attack. I think it probably does. I feel like I have to go for the bullfrog because at least it gives it the complete defender and like the bee back. Yeah, Ben, that's what happened the last time we died. That was from 2 streams ago now, I think. That's where Gabe came from. He was one of the custom cards. Okay. I think just for the sigils, we kind of have to go for the bullfrog and the, get the block and the bee, because at least it's more card advantage in the early game, and, like, it's free. You know, you play down a free 3/2, and then, you know. A sigil of Mighty Leap and a sigil of bees within from the bullfrog. It's not quite as strong as Gib, but it's still pretty good. Alright. Now chat, what do we call this one? Is this just Gib again? Is that a running theme? Or do we call it something different? Wolf. What do we think? Freebie? Because it's a freebie. There's multiple freebies, actually. It's free and it gives freebies. Trap bait. Jib. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we could do it for, but I think freebie. I like freebie. One thing now remains. I must capture your visage. Yeah, I know, you piece of garbage. Say cheese. Fromage. If I got something with Undying, I would have been the happiest person in the world. I straight up, like, if I could get an Undying freebie, that is exactly what I was trying to do with Gek. That would have been fantastic. But hey, we can still empower it. There's still hope. Not much for trading that last one. Are you prepared to make the right deals? A gift from the Angler. You see, he was defeated recently and wishes to redeem himself. It would be unfortunate if you were to fall to the Prospector before he was given that chance. His hook is powerful. You may steal one of my cards with it. For that reason, you will not find any others along the path. Use it wisely. It seems the lowly Stinkbug has made its way in. Wait, why is Stoat's head a rectangle now? What happened to Stoat's head? Stoat, what happened to your head? But it is dealt, so it stands. Why is his head a rectangle? Why is it a rectangle? What happened to him? Wait, do I only get to pick one? Oh. Okay, those are my cards, yes? Those are the cards? These are the cards I have, okay. Buddy, what happened to you? Why is your head like this? Also, that's a lot of different sigils. What the hell happened? This is very different than last time. He's a bit of a boxy boy. Stoat got stacked. Why not? A to B. Okay, hold on. You gonna... Okay, so I can still get up from the table. Wasn't that my head last time? Curious. Sorry folks, I'm just looking around to see if anything's changed. Oh, new puzzles. Okay, so we can get more cards if we want. I don't know if I want to do that right this second. I suppose I could do it now. I feel like I should probably learn whatever new thing is happening first and then go from there. No, you may not choose a specific beast. Instead, you must now decide on a tribe that you prefer. I can? Oh, right! I forgot about those. I'll have to go grab those. I kind of like the scaly ones. I think I'm gonna try that. Add a randomly chosen reptile card. Did you wish for something else? Adder's not bad. Five? That's way more than last time. What did I just take? What now? Oh. Oh. Yo, I did something. You finally pried my special dagger from the paws of that squirrel, though you may wish that you hadn't. We did something. Yo, we did something. Globe go whir. Okay, so that's that. Nothing going on there. Ooh. That one's only for card dueling. Oh, it replaced one of my things. Okay, we already did what we can do with this last time I was over here, I think. Yeah, when I got the ring. I can't see anything there. Okay. Chat, what do we think? I'm spinning the globe. You can collect the candle too. Interesting. See if that does anything, I suppose. Doesn't seem to do much, but it's been done nonetheless. Can't do anything with that. That area is still out. Can't pick any of this up or do anything with these as of yet. That's just the rule book. What do we think, chat? Should we try and grab some of these puzzles? Let's see what the DM has to relay it now, haha. Okay. Tell you what, this one's easy because it's free. So why don't we do this one and then we'll see what's next on the list. Or on the thing. There's nothing in it. Alright then. Yeah, I'm probably gonna head out soon. I think I'm gonna see I think we'll see what this is and then go from there. I don't know what that means. So we're going to find out together. And then maybe one of the puzzles is to add something to the deck and then we'll call it a night, I think. An ancient woman emerged from behind an oak tree. She carefully laid out intricate wood carvings, then gestured at them brusquely. Choose. Oh, do I get to totem now? I mean, objectively, I think probably of these, the best is... I have a very love-hate relationship with Waterborne. Like, I like it as an idea, because it means your guys never die, but I hate that it means you can't block any damage. So I think probably I want the flying totem. If it gives all my guys flying, that sounds pretty good. Flying guard squirrels also does sound decent. I guess my question is this for me or is this for my opponent? Because the next one's a totem battle. Snap that head around, Leshy. Yeah, move it. Sorry, I like trying to mess with this person as much as I can. Giving everything flying sounds pretty decent, but it also... Flying's also a double-edged sword. Because if you give something flying, it means it never hits the things on the ground, which is the same sort of issue as this one. Waterborne and flying both have the same problem. One ensures that your guys never get hit, the other ensures that you can never... They both ensure basically that you can never block. I would arguably say that flying is better because it means that you can usually hit directly. But the problem is, your guys... No, your guys can still block when they're flying. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I think I'm probably just going to go for the flying one, because I like that. That's fun. I like it when all my stuff flies. Flying totem. Okay, what do I do with this now? The old woman bared her teeth in satisfaction. Your fourth totem was complete. The airborne sigil will now be marked upon all your squirrel creatures. What? Why is it on squirrels specifically? Did I click something I wasn't supposed to that made it fly? What did I click on? Right, they're made up of a body and a head. Did I pick a head? Or did it just put a head on it? I think we're back. I think we're back. Sorry, folks. The internet dropped randomly out of nowhere. I think it's probably probably the cue that I should be finishing up for tonight. So I'm not sure exactly what I did there to cause that totem to have a squirrel on it. I'm kind of sad if that's what happened there, because I thought flying was cool, but flying on squirrels when all the squirrels have no health is kind of sad. Or of no attack. I guess probably what that means is I'm going to be looking for stuff with alpha. Because if I can get stuff with alpha, then I can at least play the squirrels as 1/1 flyers, and that's not the worst in the world. Oh well. For now, I think that's probably it for tonight. So, with that being said, oh, I did get the squirrel head from the drawer puzzle. I didn't even realize that. I had no idea. You know, I don't think that's something I would have remembered, to be entirely honest. It was like a week ago. And it was an item I got. I didn't really think about it. I wonder if I can replace the heads on them. I guess I'll find out. But yeah, So I think that's about it for tonight. I think we're gonna call it there. Next time, Squirrelhead is the strongest one. Squirrelhead seems good. It's just like it gives all the stuff to the squirrels, but I didn't. If I had known it was gonna go on a squirrel, I would have given it to. I would have picked one of the other options because flying block squirrel, or even like. Can you imagine the card economy you would get with submersible squirrel? Because every turn you play a squirrel, and if you don't need to... I guess there's really no card economy there. It's the same as keeping them in your hand, basically. Yeah, I feel like if anything, like flying block or squirrel would have been better had I realized that's what it was for. But, oh well, live and learn. Maybe there's something different we can do with it later. But yeah, so that's going to be it from me tonight, folks. Thank you for coming on by the stream. I appreciate it. We are back at the bottom again. So I guess this means, isn't that just an otter? Yeah, I suppose a submersible squirrel may just be an otter. Next time, I guess this means we're, going to be going back, to the start again and, doing some stuff with some new mechanics, I suppose. We'll see what happens there. Yeah, submerged squirrels would have been worse because you can't block with them. That is fair, honestly. But yeah, we will see what happens next time. Next stream is probably going to be next Friday, not next Thursday. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I'm going to be attempting to go home and visit some family. And I hope that most people on that date will be spending some time with loved ones. If not able to come out here, at least have some people y'all can hang out with and, you know, do some good stuff. But yeah, I hope you all can enjoy your time next Thursday. I will be back next Friday, I think is going to be the plan, since I will be off on Friday to compensate for, well, move my off day over. So since I'm automatically off on Thursday for Thanksgiving, it's one of the 2 holidays I get as a retail employee, which means that I will be off on Thursday but not available to stream. Friday I will hop in and we'll do some more Inscryption probably at that point. But yeah, that's about it. So I will talk with y'all next time. It's good having y'all around. Thanks for coming out to the stream. My name is Gabe. This is Draw 5 Move 5. Until next time, go have a good game. Have a good night, folks.